Hi friends. Good morning. Today is Thursday, June 4th, 2020. Let's look at measuring weight. So let's cross off the date first on our calendar. It's Thursday the 4th. Ooh, I'm noticing that tomorrow, Friday, is a full moon. So if we have clear skies, we can see the full moon. So today we are going to talk about measuring weight. Now we've already talked about measuring height, which is measuring from the bottom to the top of something. And we've talked about measuring length, which is measuring from one side to the other side. Today we are going to talk about measuring weight. And when we talk about measuring weight, we are telling how heavy or how light something is. So an easy way to tell that is if you take two objects and you pick them up. Okay, how easy is it to pick up? Super easy to pick up this pencil. But this water bottle, this is filled with water. So this is heavier. I can tell if I held these two in my hand, this is kind of pushing my hand down more than this light pencil. Okay, so I would say this is heavier and this is lighter. So here's our words heavier and lighter. Now, today we're going to use a really cool tool, and this is called a balance scale. I'm gonna back it up so you guys can see. So a balance scale is a tool that you can use to compare the weights of two different objects. Sorry, I think that cut out. So a balance scale is a tool you can use to compare two different objects to tell which one is heavier and which one is lighter. So if I wanted to use the example I used before, which is this little tiny pencil, and put it in this bin. So on this side, you can see how it goes down. So right now, this bucket is heavier than this bucket because this bucket has nothing in it. But watch what happens when I put the water bottle in it. Are you ready? Now this bucket is up and this one is down. In fact, it hit the bottom. So now we can tell that this one is heavier because this side of the balance scale went down. So whichever one goes down is the heavier one. Now, sometimes you might find two objects that weigh the same. So these two markers are the same, so I would expect them to weigh the same. So if I put these two markers in the buckets, you would expect that they would be level, and then you know that they are the same. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make your own balance scale at home if you have the tools. And if you don't have the tools, I have a worksheet for you to do anyways. All right, so hold on one sec. Okay, so here's what you need to make your own balance scale at home. You need a hanger. It can be a plastic hanger, it can be a metal hanger. It just needs to be a hanger like the kind you hang clothes on. You're also going to need two containers. I have cups. You could use bowls if you have bowls. Any containers that will be able to hold objects in them. And then you have a choice. If you have a way to punch holes in your container and use string, you can do that. And I included instructions for your families to show you how to do that one. I don't have string, so I'm actually going to use tape. So that's another choice you can do. And you're going to need some place to hang your hanger, which is going to become your balance scale. So I have a doorknob. You could use a closet rod or whatever. So when my hanger stops moving, my hanger is going to be level. So this side is not going to go down further than this side. So that's important to start, because if it weren't level, then my comparing would be all off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape one cup on each end of my hanger, just like there's one container on each end of my balance scale. Okay, So now I have my 2 cups and they are taped on each end of my balance scale. And you can tell that it's still balanced because I use the same materials on each side. So 1 cup and 1 piece of tape weighs the same as 1 cup and 1 piece of tape. But now I get to experiment with it. So I have 2 objects, and when you do this at home, you can choose your own objects as long as they fit into those cups. So I have a pair of headphones, and I'm going to put those in that cup. And you can tell now, sorry, it's all white back here, it's hard to see, but you can tell that this cup, this side of the balance scale, is going down more than this one. Not very much, because it seems like maybe those headphones don't weigh very much. And now I have a nifty bottle of hand sanitizer, so I'm going to put that in the other side of the balance. Whoa! Balance scale. Which one is heavier and which one is lighter, you guys? Can you tell? Look at how much further down the hand sanitizer is than the headphones. Of course, Miss Guest decided to choose a clear object and a white object, and a white hanger and clear cups to use, but sorry. I hope you can see it okay. So I can tell that the hand sanitizer is heavier and the headphones are lighter. So now I'm going to record on my paper. Okay, so here is my recording paper. These balances look a little bit different than yours and than mine, but that's okay. The important part is the part that's going down further. That is going to be the heavier object, and the part that is up is going to be the lighter object. So in my case, I am going to draw the hand sanitizer bottle on this side, and I'm going to draw the headphones on that side. Then I get to pick 2 different objects and fill in the rest of the recording sheet. Now, if you don't have the materials to do this at home, I do have other things for you to. Okay, so in your morning email, there is a little paper with pictures of objects on it. So if you can't build your own scale at home, what I want you to do is use your imagination and what you know about how much things weigh from your experiences. And I want you to choose 2 objects and put them on the balance scales, the same as we did when we were drawing our own objects. So I chose a car full of people loaded down and a flip-flop. And I know from my experience that a car weighs way more than a flip-flop, right? Not only is it bigger, but it is also full of people and things. And flip-flops don't weigh very much at all in my experience. So that's your job for this morning, and I hope you guys have fun with it. I do want to give you one clue because a lot of times people think that because something is bigger, that it's automatically heavier. And that is not always true. And I want you to think about what materials the object is made out of. So like something like that's made out of metal, like a car, is probably going to be heavier than something that's made out of fluff or feathers or plastic even. So the example I have for you is one of the buckets from my balance scale. This is pretty big, right? However, it's not filled with anything. It is empty. So if I took out my little paint bottle here, you'd say, whoa, the bucket is way bigger than the paint bottle. It must weigh more, but it doesn't. I can tell you from how it feels in my hands, the paint bottle weighs more because the paint bottle is full of liquidy paint and the bucket is empty. So the only thing that we are measuring the weight of is the plastic. It's not what's inside. Now, if I filled this bottle, this bucket with water or rocks or something, it would be way heavier. So when you're thinking about how much something weighs, remember to consider the material it's made out of and how full it is, and not just the size. Okay, so I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. You can do your own balance scale with your own objects, or you can practice with the pictures. Okay, have fun.